Milling Through History presents Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a day meant to honor all those who serve our country in the military. There are those, however, who get the day confused with Memorial Day, and it's very understandable. Memorial Day is observed as a day to remember those who have fallen in the line of duty to the country. Meanwhile, Veterans Day coincides with the anniversary of the end of the First World War. And other countries also celebrate Veterans Day in their own way to remember the end of the First World War, but instead is referred to often as Armistice Day or Remembrance Day. Now, the spelling of Veterans Day is rather unique in that there is no apostrophe between the N and the S. And the reason for this is because the day itself does not belong specifically to veterans, but rather is meant to honor all veterans. And so, for those thinking that, well, that's not necessarily true, it does belong to veterans. This actually comes from the United States military itself. And so, it's important to realize that even the military acknowledges this day does not actually belong to them. Now, how did Veterans Day begin? Well, on November the 11th, 1919, Woodrow Wilson addressed the nation on the anniversary of the first Armistice Day. On this particular occasion, he said, quote, "A year ago today, our enemies laid down their arms in accordance with an armistice which rendered them impotent to renew hostilities, and gave to the world an assured opportunity to reconstruct its shattered order and to work out in peace a new and juster set of international relations. The soldiers and people of the European allies had fought and endured for more than 4 years to uphold the barrier of civilization against the aggressions of armed force. We ourselves had been in the conflict something more than a year and a half. With splendid forgetfulness of mere personal concerns, we remodeled our industries, concentrated our financial resources, increased out agricultural output, and assembled a great army, so that at the last our power was a decisive factor in the victory. We were able to bring the vast resources, material, and moral of a great and free people to the assistance of our associates in Europe who had suffered and sacrificed without limit in the cause for which we fought. Out of this victory there arose new possibilities of political freedom and economic concert. The war showed us the strength of great nations acting together for high purpose, and the victory of arms foretells the enduring conquest which can be made in peace when nations act justly and in furtherance of the common interests of men. To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride and the heroism of those who died in the country's service, and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice and the councils of nations." With Wilson's inspiring words, Veterans Day effectively almost became a new Memorial Day. On June the 4th, 1926, Congress passed a resolution requesting that Calvin Coolidge, then president at the time, to issue annual proclamations calling for the observance of November the 11th. On May 13th, 1938, Congress passed the act to make November 11 an official holiday to be dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be thereafter celebrated and known as Armistice Day. Following the Second World War, though, Armistice Day would get its name. The effort to change it would actually come underway, namely from Raymond Weeks, who had the idea to expand Armistice Day to celebrate all veterans. He would get the support of Dwight D. Eisenhower, and Weeks began to celebrate Veterans Day locally in Birmingham, Alabama. On May 26, 1954, Eisenhower would sign the bill to change the name of Armistice Day to Veterans Day. And in 1982, Ronald Reagan honored Raymond Weeks with the Presidential Citizenship Medal as the driving force for the national holiday, and Weeks would be referred to as the father of Veterans Day. Now, when it comes to observing this particular day, some workers and many students have the day off. And in the event Veterans Day were to fall on a Saturday or Sunday, then it is the preceding Friday or the following Monday, which would see the observance being held nationally. Now, legally, there are 2 minutes of silence, which is recommended to be observed starting at 2:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's during this particular point that we think of all of our veterans and honor them. Now, when it comes to Veterans Day, though, there have been attempts to go ahead and combine this particular day with Election Day. Now, the National Commission on Federal Election Reform has recommended that this merger occur. And the reason for it is that not only do people then have a day off to vote, but more importantly, this is a way to honor veterans as a method of exercising their democratic rights, which they have fought to preserve, and thus ensuring that the two are combined together. For more information, please consider these suggested titles. Be sure to click on the left-hand side of the screen to subscribe to our show, and on the right-hand side for our latest episode. And we will see you again for the next episode of Milling Through History.